Hey, everybody. This is Jonathan Simpkin, the president of 604 Records. And I'm excited. I've got a guest today who I've known for a long time.
75 years.
75 years, apparently. Dave Faber from the band Faber Drive. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Jonathan.
How you doing?
Really good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. And boy, there's so much to cover. But I have to, full disclosure to you and to the public, 3 hours sleep last night. Thank you.
Oh yeah, dude.
So I'm a little, and it's hot as. So I'm just like, ah.
Yeah, try driving in from Chilliwack.
Oh.
I actually had to switch into my
your
pink
shorts.
shorts halfway, not even halfway, a quarter way on the drive. I don't have AC in my stupid little Mazda 3.
Oh no.
And I got to get it fixed. So I was like, this is too hot in my black
We better
skinny.
sell some records so you could you could buy some AC.
Or get a nice advance.
No comment. So I'm going to ask you something, and I wonder if you're going to remember this. Do you remember when we first met? Or how we first met?
I'm sure as soon as you say it, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I remember. But honestly, off the top of my head right now, I can't.
It's a long time ago.
75 years ago? Is that one?
Something like that.
I'm gonna let you take the reins on this one.
Well, here's what I'll say this.
Okay.
I don't remember the first meeting, but here's what I remember. I've this one strange, only strange because I don't know why I remember it. It wasn't really strange, but I have a very distinct memory of meeting or of talking to you when I was in LA with the band Lilacs, and Lilacs were the first band I ever managed.
Right.
And I was sitting, again, this is strange that I remember this. I was sitting in an IHOP, an International House of Pancakes
Right.
on Sunset Drive in LA. And I was talking to you about, and this was long before, well, not long before, but before 604. And certainly before we were working together in that way. But I was talking to you about an offer you had, some kind of an offer you had. And boy, I could just be pulling this out of nothing. I think it was an offer from a record label called Tooth and Nail.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, dude. I don't remember this at all, but that's 100% true, and that's crazy.
Yeah. So you had either retained me to help you, or I feel like maybe you had already signed it and there had been a problem. I don't know. You hired me to sort of help you through something with Tooth and Nail.
Crazy.
And I just have this crazy memory of sitting in IHOP. And the reason I was there is that Lilacs were recording in a studio called Henson. I think they've changed the name. It was Jim Henson from the Muppets studio.
Oh, wow.
And they were recording. And I guess we had scheduled some call. And so there I am eating pancakes and talking to you about Tooth and Nail.
Crazy.
Tooth and Nail, by the way, still exists.
Yeah, BEC too is so Brandon Ebel is the owner of Tooth and Nail, or he was. I'm sure he probably still is.
Yeah.
And he also has, I think he has a bunch of side labels as well. BEC was another main label of his as well.
They were sort of known as a Christian label.
Yeah.
And I've had a more recent experience with them because we have a band, or had a band, on light organ on one of our imprint labels called We Are the City.
Okay.
We licensed their record to Tooth and Nail. I don't really know much about the label. Like the album recently reverted, so the album's back to us now. But yeah, it's I know Tooth and Nail's done okay. They're like listen, any label who's been around for 20 years or more, it's a miracle.
Oh,
especially these days.
Yeah.
So did you do a deal with them? Like, were you on them? Or you didn't do a deal?
We didn't. No.
I probably it up for you.
No. I just I didn't, honestly, I felt like that wasn't what God wanted us to do at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know why. My band members, they were supportive of me for sure, because they knew that, like, they just trusted me, I think, Mike and Colin. And we ended up not doing it. We didn't have any other plans. Like, there was nothing happening.
It just didn't feel right for some reason.
It didn't feel right.
So that was not Faber Drive. That was something else.
That was Seed.
Right. I remember that.
Yeah.
Right.
And we had two
wow.
albums, 2 CDs that we recorded. One was called just Seed, self-titled. It was a blue cover with Seed written on it, like kind of Oreo letters. And then the second album we did, the CD, was called Rockstar, and it was Seed Rockstar, and it had Seed written across and then Rockstar underneath.
And who was in the band? You said
it was Mike Teagan and Colin Friesen.
Oh, and of course Colin you continued to work with. And still do today, don't you?
No, not so much. He's driving trains right now.
Wow, like an engineer?
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, it's very cool. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, I know Colin. Yeah. I cut him checks every 6 months.
Yeah.
I think. Okay. Well, that's amazing. So if that was Lilacs recording at Henson, that would have been the year 2000. So I think I've known you a quarter of a century.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's hard to believe. I mean, time. Crazy. A hell of a thing. But yeah, it's hard to believe, huh?
Yeah, it is. And the weird thing about that too is the year before that, my boy was born, 99.
Which one?
The oldest, Isaiah Powfu.
Okay.
Because I don't think, we don't have kids that are the same age, do we?
No. I started a little bit late.
Right. Okay.
Well, not late, but later than you. I have, and I think you've probably met my kids or seen them, but Connell is 22.
Right. Okay.
In university in Ontario, doing great.
Wow. Very cool.
Got a girlfriend and he's all about the girl. And, that's why he's not even home for the summer. He's got a summer job in Toronto, close to the girl.
Right.
And Henry, my youngest, is 18 and just finished his first year in commerce at Queen's University.
Wow.
And he's home for the summer doing great.
Nice.
Has a job and he's doing great. So.
Very cool.
And you have a bunch of kids though, right?
A bunch. Yeah.
How many?
4.
Yeah, well, that's a bunch.
Yeah, and I actually have a granddaughter too, which I probably shouldn't say that on a podcast, but I'm saying it.
Which kid has a kid?
Isaiah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
God, how does that feel? Is that weird?
It's one of the biggest blessings I believe that you can have in life, man. It's absolutely amazing. Yes, definitely feels weird, but it's like my wife is so involved and so happy, and like she's really close with Isaiah's wife and Isaiah, and so she tries to help out as much as obviously Tashi is Isaiah's wife's name, and her mom helps out a lot too. But yeah, it's amazing, man. She's 6 months old now and she's so cute.
I am having a complete brain fart as to your wife's name.
Ricarda.
Thank you. Well, at least I feel better because it is a bit of an unusual name, but your beautiful wife.
Thank you.
Yeah, I saw you guys at was it a Nickelback concert? Remember?
Yeah. That was recent, maybe a year or two ago.
Yeah, when they were playing here.
This phone's ringing, man. It's just blowing up.
Yeah, and you know what?
Let me just put this thing on focus here.
Yeah, and I should have done the same thing.
It's actually the wife. It is the wife. Oh, man. She's gonna be mad.
Ricarda, I'm apologizing on behalf of your husband.
I just ghosted my wife.
Well, she'll understand.
I don't know if I should have done that.
You're good.
Pay for it later.
Yeah, exactly. Let's fast forward a little bit to when you signed to 604. And it's funny, I was also having a bit of trouble sort of grasping all the details of that. So here's my recollection, and you feel free to step in and if I'm getting things wrong or if you're getting things right. But I think it started more with Chad and Joey Moi than it did, and Brian Howes than it did with me. Because Chad and Joey, so Chad and I started 604 in 2001, but then Chad and Joey started a label, Mountain View, I'm going to say 2004, 2005. And we sort of had to negotiate a bit of a deal because, Chad was already a part of 604. He couldn't sort of run 2 labels.
Right.
And so the agreement we sort of came to, which I was happy with, was when Chad and Joey signed something, it would run through 604 for Canada. Oh. So it was kind of predetermined.
Right.
But it's funny, I pulled up your old record deal just because I was trying to remember it all. And it looks like you signed with us first before. So I can't remember, do you remember sort of the order of things, like how that all worked?
No, honestly, I don't. But I do know for sure that it first started with Joey. Joey was the first person that I had reached out to, and I actually gave him those Seed CDs and I dropped them off at his house. He gave me his home address. I found his contact info on the back of a Nickelback CD. No, not his contact info. I got his name off the back of the Nickelback CD, And where he recorded was Greenhouse Studios here in Vancouver. And then I called Greenhouse Studios. I found the number in the old phone books, right? The yellow pages, whatever it was. And I called Greenhouse Studios and I call up and I said, hey, I'm in a band called Seed. I didn't tell her that we'd just broken up. The whole band was dispersed at that point. And I was like, we're looking for a really good producer. We're sick of recording, you know, with half-assed people kind of thing. And so we want to go in the studio with a really good producer. She's like, oh, that's funny. She's like, who are you? Is there anybody specific you'd like to work with? And I said, well, Joey Moi would be amazing. And she's like, oh, that's so weird you say that right now, because she's like, he's on a break right now. Do you want his cell number? And so I'm like a nobody from Mission, right? And like, she's offering me Joey Moi, but Joey wasn't who he is now, but still he was Nickelback's guy. So it was huge, right? That was when How You Remind Me was out, I believe. Or is it, would this?
Yeah, because I mean, we didn't even start the label till after How You Remind Me was out. So yes.
What year did How You Remind Me come out? Do you know?
The album Silver Side Up came out on 9/11, so 2001. The single would have been released maybe in that summer.
Right. Okay. So yeah. So that
June,
song was
July
already
2001.
out. Yeah. And then she gave me his number, and then I ended up calling him and just bugging him for a few months and dropping off CDs and staying in contact. And then I went and recorded.
You wore him down.
I did. I wore him down. It was the stubborn Dutch guy.
Yeah. Gotcha. Are you Dutch?
Yes.
You know what they say about I have the worst joke ever. You know what they say about the Dutch?
Let's hear it.
Wooden shoes, wooden head, wouldn't listen. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Bad joke. Yeah, okay. That rings a bell. That rings a bell when you say all that. I do kind of remember maybe Chad being like, this kid just like was bugging Joey. And I do kind of remember that. I mean, it's pretty amazing when you look back at it. 7 Second Surgery, which is really why we're doing this podcast. Chad Kroeger from Nickelback, Joey Moi of Morgan Wallen and Florida Georgia Line,
and Dallas Smith
and Nickelback, and Fame, and Brian Howes of Hinder and Kelly Clarkson and other fame.
Yeah,
that's pretty up. I mean, for a first album, you had 3 guys who became 3 of the most successful producers in the world.
Yeah,
like, is it weird now looking back and kind of going like, holy shit? Like,
oh yeah, for sure. And it's crazy having like somewhat of a nostalgia kind of comeback right now, which is even crazier. But back then it was so exciting. I remember just like being in the studio with Joey, like he'd always work till midnight. And I used to just love listening to him talk about the industry. And like, I remember he's the first guy that told me like, in the music industry, there's a pyramid. I think things have changed a little bit now, but he's like, think of the music industry as a pyramid. And he said, the song is at the very top of the pyramid. If you don't have the song, nothing else trickles down. And that was how they always looked at it. And I learned so much about that and about songwriting and stuff from Joey. And
I remember him saying that too.
Yeah. And I find it funny too, how people, even myself, I'll find myself getting caught up in this sometimes where it's like, we start pointing our fingers at everything else except for the one thing that's the most important thing is the song. Kind of like what you're saying. And I find it, especially rookies, they'll be like, well, should I do? I mean, content is obviously a big thing. Now I think you can probably have a song that sucks nowadays, and you could have some, and it could blow up on TikTok or Instagram, and you could be successful artists. But I don't like a song that's a hit. An undeniable hit, is
When I think of all the bands, like say on our label, who've had some big success, it's usually driven by a song. Yeah. I mean, or not even just on a label, even before the label existed, when I was, just being the lawyer guy. I mean, Len, Steal My Sunshine, Nickelback, How You Remind Me, Carly Rae Jepsen, Call Me Maybe, Dallas had a few, but, Default, Wasting My Time. That opens way more doors than How Many People You Know or anything else. So I think we have a similar sort of view of that. Now, the actual recording of 7 Second Surgery, it's funny. I think you may have even been the one who sent it to me. I have this picture, and I should have brought it with me, I'm sure it was at Mountain View Studio, and it's like the band, Chad, Joey, Brian, me, Scott Cook, I try to remember who else was in this.
JVP, I think, was in the picture.
Probably
too.
that he would have been in the picture as well. I mean, it's obviously a long time ago. It's 20 years ago, but like, what's your sort of recollection when you think back to the actual recording process? What's it like 20 years on, sort of thinking about it? Or what do you remember?
You know, from what I remember, some of the greatest memories I have are from recording that album. I mean, from what I remember too, that album, I think it took like a year to record.
It took a long time.
Yeah. And you know, not to anybody's fault or anything, but Nickelback was very hot at that time and they were very busy. And it's Chad's studio, right? Yep. So it's like, you know, we and Joey was, you know, with Nickelback at the time. So that was the most important. So I have great memories. I mean, I remember, you know, a couple things. One specific thing is I remember Joey saying to me one night, he's like, "Do you drink?" And I'm like, "No, you know, I just don't really drink." And he's like, "Well, you know, maybe you should have a drink or two, and see how you feel, see how you feel singing after a drink or two." Well, then I would drink like one or two drinks, and he's like, "Dude, you sound like way better. You loosen up," because I was very, you know, like very white sounding, I guess you could say, and just too like perfect sounding, or in a bad way.
Yeah.
And then I would loosen up when I would have a drink or two. But then I would always, after a drink or two, I'd always have another one and another one. So I'd be like 5 or 6 drinks in the booth, and I'd be like, laughing and screwing on. Joey would be like, "Okay, that's it, man. No more for the night. You've gone too far."
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my memories are vague of that. I definitely came by a few times, you know, just check on progress, hear some songs. It was always very crowded at Faber sessions because the whole band would be there.
Yeah.
Usually. And, you know, that was, you're right. I mean, this is right when Nickelback was sort of, well, it would have been 2003, 2004. So it would have been right after, I guess, the second Nickelback, The Long Road, came out. And probably they were starting to record what became All the Right Reasons.
Yes.
So I remember that too. And I do remember that. I do remember that they had to postpone sessions and stuff from time to time.
Right.
Because Roadrunner, Nickelback's label, would need this or need that. Or so that I do remember. But I also remember, you know, we were excited. I mean, people were feeling excited. We'd be hearing the songs as they'd be coming along, and everybody had a real sort of feeling that, you know, things were going well and that, you know, we were onto something. Now, I was also trying to remember how the Island Def Jam thing happened. And for the life of me, I cannot remember. I think that was Chad and Joey more than me on that one.
Yeah. I don't even, oh, sorry. No, because you mean Universal Republic.
Is that who? I thought it was Island Def Jam. Look at us. We don't even know.
Yeah, because I believe it was Tom Mackay from Universal Republic that signed us in the US. But maybe there was a different thing with Island Def Jam. I don't even know, man.
Okay, well, it's one of the they're both Universal labels. So
okay. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was Island Def Jam underneath Universal then.
They're definitely one of the Universal labels. And I think Mackay was Island Def Jam.
Right.
Because wasn't he the Saliva guy? Wasn't he the A&R for Saliva, or am I getting that wrong?
Maybe.
Because that was Island Def Jam. It doesn't even matter. Was Leora Cohen involved?
I don't remember Cohen being involved.
Look at us, two old now who can't remember anything. It's so brutal. Okay, regardless, you were signed to Universal US. We can. What do you remember about that? Like, about that experience? They must have flown you up there to meet people and all that crap.
Yeah, I mean, mostly they came up here.
Yep.
We did do a showcase in LA for them as well. And we did like an acoustic tour over the US, like throughout the US. What I know now from like, and I feel, honestly, I feel like I'm a better singer now than I was back then. And also I had vocal surgery during the recording of our first album. I don't know if I mentioned that yet, but
I don't remember that.
Yeah, we were recording Tongue Tied and Second Chance, and I ended up getting vocal surgery during the recording of the lead vocals.
Happened?
I had a polyp on my
jeez.
And like a nodule is like a smaller callus on your vocal cords, and then a polyp is basically a glorified nodule.
That happens to singers. That happens.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I do not remember that. Was your voice different afterwards?
Yeah. I sounded like Kermit the Frog for a bit there. But then it got better. over time. Or unless I still sound like Kermit the Frog. Maybe
a little bit. I'm kidding. Okay. That makes some sense. I guess it's not inaccurate to say the record did better in Canada than in the States.
Oh, 100%. 10,000%.
Was that, I mean, looking back at it, I mean, obviously as the 604 guy, my concern was Canada. Like obviously if something that we put out here does well in the States, it helps here too. But I mean, I was happy from day one. We had success in Canada like pretty quickly. Looking back now, is there anything about the US that you wish you had done differently, or I don't know? Or is it just one of those things where, hey, for whatever reason, it didn't work there and that's that?
You know, I don't know if I can put a finger on it, honestly. I think that I think the songs are good, and do I think that they were as good as songs that were coming out at that time? I definitely do, but maybe I'm being a bit biased. I wish that they had broken in the US. I don't completely know why. Yeah, I mean,
who knows? I mean, with these things, you just never.
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned over the years, and 30 plus years in the business, quality doesn't necessarily equate to success.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's timing, and a lot of it's luck, and a lot of it's, it's, if I knew, I'd bottle it and sell it. And, I mean, 604 has been lucky. We've had a lot of hits and a lot of success, but I'll be damned when somebody asks me about it. I have a hard time explaining it. Like, how come you guys have had so much success with, I don't know. Yeah. I guess I'm lucky that stuff I like, it seems the public often likes too.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really, there's no formula. I don't really know how to do it, even though I'm still doing it all these years later. So in Canada, at least, my recollection is like there were two pretty big hits on that particular album, 7 Second Surgery. It's Second Chance did really well, and When I'm With You. There's other songs that did well. Yeah. But those are the two that seem to really do the best. Am I wrong?
I think it was Tongue Tied and When I'm With You.
Oh, sorry, Tongue Tied. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Second Chance was the first single, which I think did good, but I don't think it did as good as Tongue Tied.
Correct. You are 100% correct.
And When I'm With You. Yeah. And then Sleepless Nights was the fourth single, I believe.
And that did okay as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because you had been successful on radio, and that's one thing about radio. That's maybe changed a little bit now, but back in the day, if you had something that worked at radio would give you all sorts of chances on your subsequent singles.
All sorts of second chances.
There you go. There you go.
Dad joke.
That's right. That is a dad joke. Okay. So yeah, that's exactly right. And then I guess when the record didn't really perform so great in the States, Universal didn't exercise the option.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I remember having a bunch of conversations with you then. And I can imagine, like, and the thing is like, by the time that record had sort of run its course, Chad, Joey, and Brian were all kind of on their way to sort of bigger careers. And I don't know if this is a tough question to answer or a tough question to ask, but I mean, at the time, did you kind of feel like they had just kind of moved on, or like, was it? Because I do remember having those kind of conversations with you. And I got to tell you, and I think I've told you this before, one thing I really respect about you is like, I remember you coming to me after that and kind of saying to me like, look, I know Chad and Joey and Brian are probably not going to work on the next record, but like I've written some demos, and all I ask you is like, can you listen to them? And all I want is a fair chance to, and I listened, and Julie, who was working with you then, and all these years later is still, that's by the way, Julie Baldwin. So shout out, because she's the first employee we ever hired. And
love her, man.
Here we are 22 years later, and she's still working with me, which is, unbelievable. But, I respect that it would have been very easy to pack up your tent at that point and kind of go, well, that's it, didn't work. But you didn't. And you sort of came to me and said, look, give me a chance, and I'll prove to you that we can have success. And, I think Julie and I listened to the demos and went, you know what? Let's do this. And then we had another hit.
Yeah.
And we're not really here to talk about that record.
Yeah.
But what's the name of it? I'm having a
Get
brain.
Up and Dance.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But no, the name of the album.
The name of the album was I Can't Keep a Secret.
Thank you. And Get Up and Dance was the single. And I remember having real joy when that did well. It just felt like such a vindication,
right?
In a weird kind of way.
Yeah.
How was that for you? Like from your perspective, like, so you go through this first experience and geez, we did well in Canada, didn't really go well in the States. And, you know, all these producers are off doing other things now. And that must have felt pretty goddamn good to, you know, had a hit at that point again.
Yeah. And honestly, shout out to Chief for that because he was like, originally Get Up and Dance was just going to be a side project. I wanted the side project to be called Plastic Jacket. And I sent the demo to Chief and Chief was like, dude, this is awesome. Let's release it as an Pre-Faber Drive single. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. This is like a dance track. Like it's not Faber Drive. And then Chief's like, well, do you got anything else? And I was like, you know, I sent him some other stuff and there was nothing even close to as good as Get Up and Dance. And so he, you know, basically kind of convinced me to release it. And I think that song went double platinum in Canada.
It did really well.
Yeah.
And Chief, just so people know out there, Chief is Kevin Zaruk, who, funny enough, is now Nickelback's manager.
Yeah.
At the time, he was Nickelback's production manager.
I think he was tour manager.
Tour manager.
Yeah.
I mean, he had been with the band almost as long as me. And, but he was also managing Faber Drive.
Yeah.
Just to fill in the blanks for everybody. But it's funny, my memories after that are vague.
Yeah.
And I was back looking at like Spotify going, what did they do after us? But there's a real gap. Like,
well, you're going to remember this one. You and I Tonight was the next single after Get Up and Dance.
And that did well
You and I Tonight
too.
did really good. It still gets radio play. The songs that still get radio play are Tongue Tied, When I'm With You, and You and I Tonight. Those are the three main songs that still get radio play.
Well, I'll tell you something, which I love. So my wife, Jennifer, is from Ontario and her family has a cottage in Muskoka.
Right.
And I'm telling you, every time we go up there, I hear When I'm With You.
Oh, wow.
It's a station called The Moose.
Nice.
The Moose in Northern Ontario.
Shout out The Moose.
Shout out
Thank
The
you.
Moose. And they are still playing it. And I'll tell you where else people hear it all the time. And it's usually that song. It's Canada's Wonderland.
Yeah, Julie was saying that.
Julie takes her kids there, and I swear I get a text every time she goes, just heard it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
You know, that, I mean, those three songs, but that song in particular, have all had a nice sort of shelf life.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's 20 years later and I still hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Which yeah, it is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and thanks for supporting us back in the day and believing in us and doing the grind with us. You know, we did 2 more albums, right? After 7 Seconds Surgery.
We did indeed.
Yeah.
We did. What happened to the one after that?
Well, we had Life is Waiting, I think was the, where am I thinking? Yeah. So I think Life is Waiting was the only, oh no, we had Life is Waiting and Candy Store on the last record,
right?
Which was called Lost in Paradise,
right? Which
was our third album.
Yes.
Our second album, the hits, I guess you could say, were Get Up and Dance and You and I Tonight.
Correct.
And those were kind of the 4 other main ones that I remember off of those 2 albums.
So the current configuration of Faber Drive is obviously different than the original one. And so I'm curious, like, there was Red Bull and he was the first to peace out. I remember him sort of getting married and like, I'm out. Good night.
Well, I don't blame him, man. It was crazy back in those days, getting hammered on the road every night.
Is he a cousin or something? Are you?
He's my wife's little brother.
It's your wife's brother.
Yeah. And I actually taught him how to play drums.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Since he was like,
and he's in Alberta, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, so if it's your wife's brother, you're obviously still in touch.
Yeah. He was just at our house on the weekend with his wife and kids. Yeah.
And how's he? Like, is he
really good? Yeah. Yeah. Works for the government. He's doing like construction stuff. His wife and kids are amazing. Amy and his kids are Rhett and Sawyer.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And then there's Cricket.
Yeah.
Cricket's not in anymore, right?
No. Cricket, basically, which I don't totally blame him, 15 years after the band had been together for like 15, 16 years and losing money every year kind of thing, or barely scraping by. He's like, dude, like, this is just ridiculous. He's like, I'm out. He's like,
does he have a family? Like,
he's got a wife and they got a puppy and he's doing really good. He sells heavy duty machinery.
Oh, nice.
And he's doing great. That guy was the hardest working most dedicated, most loyal band member I've ever had.
Yeah, I remember seeing you guys at when I got that SoCan award for Call Me Maybe, and you guys were there. Remember that?
Mhm.
There was it was a SoCan general meeting. So that's probably 5 or 6 years ago. I don't. And then what's his name? The guitar
Hensley
Hensley
was the original guitar player.
Mark?
No, Dave.
Dave
Hensley.
Thank you. I don't know where I'm getting that from. When I think of him, you know what I think of?
What?
That scene in the video for When I'm With You where he hits the guitar. It's so dramatic. It's funny. I liked him. He was a good dude.
Yeah.
Where's he?
He's living in Mission still. He's doing construction as well. And he's got a daughter, an amazing daughter, amazing wife too. And he's doing some songwriting, but he's doing mostly construction. I actually think he has a project that it's called Hensley.
Oh.
A side project that he does like some production, some sort of dance, but also like pop sort of music as well.
Got you.
Yeah.
Gosh. Okay. Well, that's cool. And do the guys, do the original members know, and I haven't even said this yet. We're doing a, funny enough, not a 20th anniversary. We decided we're going to do a 19th anniversary.
19 and a quarter
anniversary release of 7 Second Surgery. And, like when I said it to Julie, when I said, this is kind of a nutty idea. I said, but because we didn't want to wait. We didn't want to wait another year. We're just like, you know what? We're impatient. How about if we do a 19th anniversary? And Julie's like, 19th anniversary? I said, well, look, that's the age of majority in Canada. When you're 19, you can vote. When you're 19, you can drink. What the hell?
That's a great reason.
Yeah, it's a great reason. So we're doing a 19th and a quarter anniversary release, which I just think is also funny. And there's a few things we're going to do, which I'm really excited about. One of them is we're doing some upscaling of some of the videos from that record. And we've been doing that. There's here's a little plug for 604 Restored, which is on our 604 YouTube page. We've already started that process. And it's been really successful, and I'm really pleased about that. But I have to tell you that the main reason I did that was you guys, because I love the video for When I'm With You.
Right.
It is one of my favorite videos that this label has ever made. It was a Minahan, right? Colin Minahan?
Yeah, Minahan, yeah.
And it would drive me crazy when I would see it on YouTube, because as is the case with most videos from that period of time, they look like crap now when you look at them. They're pixelated, and blurry, and it used to make me crazy.
Yeah, same.
And when somebody from my company came to me and said, hey, there's now this AI technology that you can use to upscale videos. And I said, well, listen, there's this one video that it makes me crazy, and it was yours. It was When I'm With You. And when I saw it, I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we're going to do that I'm super excited about.
Same. I'm really excited about too. They look amazing.
They look amazing.
Agree.
We did upscales of all of them, and they look great. But we're also going to go back in the studio and do a few new recordings.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. We're going to do acoustic versions of Tongue Tied, Second Chance, and Time Bomb. Especially after playing these shows we've been playing now, like in Ontario and stuff. There's so many people that are like, oh, like Give 'Em Up, like the one that Josh produced and co-wrote with us. Like, and there's other songs like By Your Side, and then people are like Summer Fades to Fall, and like it's like, oh man, there's so many songs that seem like people are bringing up from like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh man, like we could do more acoustic versions of more songs. But we're very excited about it. We can't wait for the world to hear.
And you're also doing a cover of
Just Died in Your Arms Tonight.
Now, I want to talk to you about that because, am I remembering this right? You used to cover that anyway. Like, you used to play that live?
Yeah.
What is it about that song that struck you so much?
It's
a great song. It was a big hit.
Yeah, we still play it live. And every time we play it live, the crowd seems to love it. People sing along and people dance to it. And so we're like, and we actually did do a recording of it at one point, but we weren't very pleased with the actual recording of it. So we're going to do like a full on recording with the Renaissance. and very excited about that. Those guys are killer producers.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, very, very good. Dan and Garrett, shout out. So yeah, we're super excited. It's gonna be like a sort of, rock / sort of punk version of it, and not so much punk, but kind of pop rock, punk rock sort of
And
stuff.
I think we're gonna do it here at the 604 Studios, which is funny because 7 Second Surgery was recorded on the same board.
Oh, really?
Well, we have
That's Chad's old board?
Yeah, that's
crazy.
a little Mountain SSL.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So it's kind of funny that it's the same board.
I should probably go spill some more beer on it.
You should, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's the same board, and that's pretty wild that we're going to do that.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll get some behind the scenes footage and do some fun stuff like that.
Yeah, we're excited.
So yeah, it's great. I think we'll probably do some vinyl.
Yeah, vinyl sounds awesome, man. Super excited about it.
It's funny to have now been running a label long enough to have 20th anniversary, anything. It's strange. Like last year we did a 20th anniversary of the organ.
Wow.
Which, and we did vinyl that like sold out in, 2 seconds.
Cool.
Thornley.
Wow.
Same thing. We did a special release of vinyl and upscaled the videos on both those artists. So yeah, no, it's funny. I guess it's just a sign of the age I'm at, but I'm really getting into the catalog stuff. I really love sort of going backwards in time now and sort of trying to celebrate the stuff that we did, back then.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm totally looking forward to it. So you're openly a practicing Christian.
Yes, sir.
Was that hard to sort of be in this business and sort of be practicing your faith? So
yes,
challenging?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, for sure. The old saying from the 70s and stuff, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, is kind of, the opposite of, Christianity, I guess you could kind of say, so it's definitely been challenging, for sure. But, yeah, for some reason I've been able to, I guess navigate both worlds. I mean, there's also, there's a lot of Christian bands out there now. There's a lot of Christian music out there. I even feel like there's a lot of Christians out there more so now. And so, yeah, it's definitely been tricky to navigate. And I think, sometimes, do I feel judged sometimes? Yes, for sure. And am I perfect? Absolutely not. I've made many mistakes in my life. And I have a lot of regrets in my life too, but I do believe that God is a good God and he's a forgiving God, and I'm thankful for him. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Because like I wouldn't call myself, I'm Jewish, but I wouldn't call myself religious.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to think I'm a moral person, and I like to try and practice what I do in a moral fashion. I mean, I'm a big golden rule fan.
Yeah.
And I really have tried throughout my career. And I've, just like you said, I've made some mistakes. I have some regrets. I've done some things I wish I hadn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, it is hard in this business to have a conscience.
Yeah.
It's a hard business to have a conscience in because it's so unforgiving in so many ways. And you have to do things sometimes that, and it's not even necessarily that you're doing bad things, but like example, I recently had to let an artist go.
Right. Yeah, that's not easy.
I mean, I tormented about it for weeks before. I tormented about it for weeks after. I wish I could be one of those people who just didn't care, but I do care.
Right.
I don't want to leave a trail of broken people behind me.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's a lot of people in this business who really don't give a about that. And,
right.
As long as they get what they need out of something, they'll gladly, somebody over.
Yeah.
So, but it's funny because I was thinking about that and I was thinking, again, I'm not religious, but you don't have to be religious to kind of have a moral code to your life.
Yeah.
And this is a tough business to have a moral code in.
Mm-hmm.
It just is. And then if you don't mind, and if you don't want to talk about it, you definitely don't have to, but I'd love to just talk slightly about your son's success.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty wild story, really.
Yeah.
And it's what I thought was interesting about it. I mean, there's lots that's interesting about it, but one thing that's interesting to me about it is that it kind of really underlines and underscores the differences between how the music business was 20 years ago and how the music business is now.
Right.
Because if I understand the story correctly, and I might have it wrong, your son put out a song, not officially, maybe even on TikTok. Is that where it started?
No. Well, no.
You tell the story because
No, it's all good. Yeah. No. So he had well, I guess how the story goes, and the true story is he bought a beat off a guy for $20, and it was that sample and that beat that you hear of the song "Coffee for Your Head."
Yeah. That thing.
And so the guy who sold it to him, was a kid named Otterpop. Sold it to Powfu. This is all common knowledge too. Sold it to Powfu for $20, but obviously illegally sold it to Powfu. Well, Powfu went and released it, and he kept getting taken down. So what happened was
he didn't clear the rights.
He didn't clear the rights, and he didn't know what he was doing. And like, I wasn't managing him at the time.
Yeah.
And then I was like kind of helping him along, but he was like, Dad, I keep putting this song out, but it keeps getting taken down. What should I do? I was like, well, you probably shouldn't put it up anymore because you're gonna get sued or something. So that's when literally the song just like, when he would put it up on Spotify, it would like streams would just go through the roof and then it'd be taken down. So what happened is, so it's Biba Doobie's vocal on there.
Yeah.
And she got in touch with us, and that's when I started managing him. And
where's she from?
She's from the UK.
Right.
But she's Filipino, I believe. I believe she's Filipino. I think she's Filipino, but she lives in the UK or grew up in the UK. So basically her and her management team were like, look, we're not going to let you release the song unless you release it through a major label. And so then Miro, our lawyer, stepped in and helped us, find the best deal. And
it was Columbia, right?
Yeah, it was Columbia. And then
who was running it then? Ron?
Ron was the main guy, but Imran was our head.
Because Coleman Hell was on Columbia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I did with Two Heads, we were also on Columbia.
Oh, no way.
I knew Ron. Ron wasn't the head of Columbia then. It was Rob Stringer.
Right.
And who was the guy right before Ron. I knew Ron because he was running Songs, which was a publishing company.
Right.
And I knew him for other reasons. But how funny. It's a small business. Like, it's amazing how, it's like you end up knowing everybody who everybody works with. There's it's just strange that way. And so, do you think, it must have been comforting in some way for your son to be working with you since you'd already kind of been through it.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think so. And at the same time, at that point in time, I hadn't had the world experience that I think a lot of managers, bigger managers have had.
Yep.
But I had a lot of experience in Canada, and the fact that I'd been on tour, I'd been signed, all those different things. So from an artist perspective, that's another, I don't want to say bullseye, but it's another bullet in the chamber where you're like, can help, see things differently. And so, and being his manager has had its challenges for sure, but he's a very level-headed individual on a whole. I feel he's very wise. I feel he loves God. He loves his wife, loves his kid, loves his family. And, he's a very humble, chill guy. He doesn't. Yeah, it's funny even with the money thing because when you have such a big hit, it's so easy just to start blowing all your money on stuff. He's very frugal with his money, which is great
and smart in this business.
Very smart.
Yeah. I was looking on Spotify and it was like over 2 billion or something like that.
I think it's like 1.89 billion.
Yeah, it's kind of where Call Me Maybe is. Like they're both like sort of
crazy.
Around the 2 billion mark.
Crazy. So is Call Me Maybe hit 2 billion yet?
Okay, I'm wrong. It is at 1.8 billion.
On Spotify or YouTube?
On Spotify.
Oh, okay.
On YouTube. It just makes me laugh because that video, like literally after the government grant I got, I think it cost us $14,000.
Right.
And here we are, all these years later, and it's got a ridiculous amount of views.
Wow.
It is at also 1.7 billion.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
1.7 billion.
So
it's crazy.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't ask that question.
What?
Ask
whatever you want. I'm an open book.
Okay. Again, you don't have to answer this. You can be like, oh, that's not,
I might not know, but
what, at that rate, 1.8 billion streams on Spotify and 1.8 views on YouTube. which one's making more money?
That's a great question, and I don't know the answer. I had a feeling you're going to ask something about the financial.
Right.
Tyler at my company would know. I haven't got a clue.
Right.
Let's put it this way. They both make a ton of money.
Yeah.
That I know.
Yeah.
Don't know the exact amounts, but they've both done. I mean, Call Me Maybe's ridiculous. It's it had one of the best years it ever had this last year.
Wow. The
13 years
thing.
old.
Yeah, the nostalgia thing is crazy.
Yeah, but that one's even beyond that. Like, it is shocking. I don't think a day goes by that there's not something on my email about Call Me Maybe.
Right.
It's crazy. So,
wow.
But okay.
Speaking of which,
yeah, go.
I'd love to, and maybe I shouldn't be doing this on a podcast either.
No, it's okay.
I'd be very interested in asking Josh to produce or write a song with us again at some point. I should hit him up.
You should hit him up.
But yeah, I mean, he killed that song, and he killed the song he did with us, and the songs he did with us, and he's a great producer, great writer.
And Marianas continues to chug along and do. Yeah. We just put out a box set.
Wow.
And it's $400 because it's every album plus a special album that you can only get in the box set.
Oh,
sold out like that. Couldn't believe it.
Really?
And we were tormented about it. Like, is that too much money? And are the fans going to get pissed off?
Yeah.
It sold.
They bought it, sold out. How many albums is
500 500 box sets.
500 box sets
at $400 each.
And it's hurting my brain trying to do
200 grand.
Wow, that's great. Holy.
I mean, we also had to spend a lot to make it. That's a gross.
That's 200 grand.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Crazy.
And then, but how many? Sorry, I didn't mean to. That was not what I was. I was asking how many albums is it? The box set.
Oh God, I want to say no. I think it's more than that. Fix Me, Masterpiece Theater, Ever After, Phantoms, Haven, Live from the Rave. God, I'm having a brain fart.
Yeah.
Maybe 7.
Wow.
And some special items and some other stuff. So it was pretty. It felt great. Like that thing selling out just felt.
Congrats, man. That's crazy.
Well, listen. They're not the biggest band in the world, but guess what? Their fans are insane.
Yeah.
And we're so lucky and so thankful to have a fan base that is just so, it's endeared and it's endured over the years. Like, it's like, I think all those young women now are moms and their kids love them.
Yeah.
Like, I'll go to a Marianas show and there's moms and daughters.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty crazy.
That's awesome.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you so much for doing this. I'm really looking I'm not sure when this is going to come out, this podcast. It might not be for a while, but I'm so looking forward to this release. I think it's going to be great. And yeah.
Same, man. Really excited about it. And thank you for doing this release with us. And thank you for doing this podcast with me.
My pleasure.